My name is Callum, what's going on? And in this video, I'm going to be showing you a live call recording of myself closing a 7K deal on the phone, on the call within 50 minutes. It was a recent sales call I had. I work in a marketing company. We're selling lead gen and appointment setting services. And yeah, in a very saturated market, I work with med spas and aesthetic clinics. There are tons of companies out there that have been, pretty much every med spa I speak with has been burned before multiple times. So there's a ton to learn in this call. So go through it, take some notes, learn it. Yeah, I'm sure it was super valuable if you do sell marketing services. If not, or if you're selling a different offer, anyways, enjoy it, have fun, and I hope you learn something.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. So, I mean, I know we already had a pretty good conversation last time yesterday. So
Right.
I don't want to kind of go through the whole thing again, but just because I do speak with around 4 to 6 clinics a day, a quick refresh or recap would do. So what we talked about yesterday, you've opened the clinic 2 weeks ago. Main issue, you haven't seen a patient yet, which is kind of a big thing, and you're trying to run some ads and get new patients in right now, but that's not really working, correct?
Well, we have 57 hits, but no one's come in yet. And part of that's because we go to labs first, which takes 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm not panicking, but I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, man, I will be straight with you too. And I think I already told you yesterday, like you're not seeing any patients coming in and starting the treatment after 3 weeks is, yeah, something is not wrong, if that makes sense. At least that's what we see on across our board, because we work with a lot of clinics on which or with which we do run ads, and we typically see like 20 to around 20 patients in the first month already, like for after launching the ads, with just $50 in ad spend. So you said you're spending 100 right now?
Yeah, 100 a
A
day.
day. And for
Yeah.
how long have you been running those?
We started at 50, and I think after the first, I guess at like halfway, we up to 100.
Why did you increase it?
Again, no one was coming in.
And you still haven't seen any. I mean, I know you're getting hits. I'm assuming with hits you mean leads and names and emails and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Gotcha. And just
57
because
leads.
57. Yeah, and just because I don't want to be essentially kind of offering you the same thing, because if that were the case and this is the exact same you're doing right now, I would much rather tell you, hey, look, this is probably not the best fit, give you some homework and point you in a different direction. So do you mind like kind of walking me through kind of the process you've got with this agency, kind of what you're doing more specifically?
Well, we targeted BHRT, which is only a low end ticket to my practice, with the hopes of when they come in, we kind of upsell them to the P shot, the O shot, with stem cells, which is a $5,000. That was the rationale and the strategy, and just hasn't come to fruition because no one has come in for the BHRT.
But have you got at least some people kind of doing the blood tests already,
Oh,
or?
yeah, we've got probably half a dozen people that are getting their lab.
And do you think like if somebody is getting their labs, like how essentially kind of how certain is it that they're going to do a treatment?
Probably 100%.
Oh, okay,
Because
so makes sense.
yeah,
Gotcha.
everyone who
And
reaches that level of interest who getting their blood work done, everyone who tapped on the lab, the Facebook ad, they're going to be low on hormones. And, I would say pretty much 100%. At least that's been my experience in the past.
so you've run Facebook ads or ads in the past, like with a different business, or?
Oh, yeah, I've been doing this for about 7 or 8 years. I just came down from Buffalo, New York to I wasn't actually, I was going to retire, but
Okay.
decided to open up a new problem. But up there, I kind of had a bad experience with Facebook and stuff. I wanted to give it another try. It seemed like most of those people didn't have even to do the BHR. Guys without a job, they're on their sofas smoking weed all night and hit the Facebook ad. And they really, we got all of our patients from other sources.
I mean, it sounds like you tried Facebook before, but if you're being honest, it never really worked.
Not in the past, but I want to give it another. I scroll on social media. Everyone says you have to have a social media ad.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'll be like straight with you. I don't think it's Facebook ads that is the issue because I mean, why are so like the biggest companies out there all running Facebook ads? The average person's I think like 7 or 6 hours on the phone a day, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't think me personally, I don't think it's Facebook ads. I see this as a massive opportunity for business, but much rather kind of you could say the environment or the context in which the ad is based. So with your current process, because I feel like okay, at least you have some people kind of doing blood tests, but it sounds like the conversion rate is really not in place there, and you're still like dealing with people I'm assuming that don't pick up or don't have the finances. So what is the process after somebody kind of clicks the ads? Are you kind of calling the leads or how does that
Be,
work?
before I answer that question, I will say there's been an evolution in the quality of the ad. The first time I'm scrolling too, and I see my own ad, and I'm scrolling, and there's these happy or vibrant music ads, people jumping around happy. Then I got to my ad, and it's the most depressing guy, looking and sounding guy in the world who said,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm low on testosterone." Oh shit! I in fact went past it and came back. I says, "Oh shit, that's my ad." And so I called my guy and he's changed it. Now he's got some pretty nice looking and sounding ads. So I will give him
Mhm.
that. But that's only been within the last, less than a week. Now,
Okay.
in answer to your question, we do have this uh, AI bot that follows up on with every patient. But right now I'm not busy enough that I can't email or call every patient that I get a lead on. So I have no trouble doing that right now, and have been doing that mostly emailing. And I give them three options. I will send you the lab order work and get your bloods drawn and come in, or you can come in for, in fact, a free consultation, or you can call me on my cell to discuss and answer questions. Those are the three options, everybody.
And I will be honest, the reason I'm asking this question is like 80% what we do is behind the ad. It's as I said previously, like nowadays, to be straight with you, like everybody can go out there and launch a Facebook ad campaign. I can show you like right now on the call, it's not complicated. What's really kind of the difference between people that are super successful with advertising, ones that aren't, is more of the system and process and what happens after somebody clicks the ad. And I get it right now, you do have like time, but what we do, for example, very different is we're not just going to send you a bunch of names and emails with people that don't pick up. It's more of offboarding the entire process. And we have an in-house sales team that calls every new lead within 2 minutes, qualifies them for you, and then collects a prepayment for you to make sure they're actually financially qualified and can.
People, are these live people or
Yes,
bots?
yeah, those are live people because, and this is just again my experience. I'm never gonna be the person that's gonna hate your agency, but I've done like there. I think in the future this may change, but right now they're still not at a point where they place a human being, and I just know it from myself. It's like yeah, you can like get a conversation going by having a bot installed. We've tested it before. To be honest, for it didn't really work out. But the problem is most people won't even respond to the bot or whatever because they know it's a bot and nobody wants to interact with a robot. They want to have a personal approach, which is why we do things like very different in that regard. Is that
Must have like that too, and that's why I've been, emailing and myself personally
yeah.
on the email or even calling.
Yeah, and I
I
think
like what you do. That's a big difference between what you do and what these
yeah.
people are doing now.
And I
And
will
if I ever
and
get busy, I wouldn't be able to call or email these people
exactly.
anyway.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
to be honest, man, I mean with clinics that are literally just starting out, of course you've got time, but with the way we see it with our clients, on average, we're getting our clients 20 to 30 or even 40 body and
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, and again, like with the time and you starting to sell packages and like starting to scale everything, like you'll not have time to call everybody in 2 minutes. And speed to lead and getting to the lead as soon as possible is super,
Yeah,
super important, which is kind of why again we have this like this as a kind of an option that our team will kind of take care of the entire process, which allows us to have so much better results than just putting all the work onto you, because that's kind of really what it is. Like right now, I mean, from my impression so far, I feel like you do most of the legwork, and that's kind of what we want to be kind of. But I say, man, like I've done hormone therapy before and all that kind of, or stem cell therapy as ads and that kind of stuff. I can tell you right now, you should be putting some body contouring. It's such a big opportunity, especially in like Florida. Like there are so many people that looking to work. It's has such a broad appeal. Like hormone, okay, yeah, that's it, I agree. Work, it can be great, but body contouring is such a broad appeal. And right now we're probably running a body contouring campaign for 95% of our clients. We're just what
and
kind
I
of
think I got a little tricked into doing the BHRT. It was an agency that you get your first 20 free, uh, but you had to put down $2,000 and you get
Mhm.
credit for each one. And instead of choosing a high-end ticket, you talked to me into choosing and I didn't. I thought about that afterwards, and they really kind of duped me into doing that. I would rather market the body contour
body
packages,
contouring? I will
but the
say though,
packages.
yeah, I will say though here though, and again, this is just look, I will always be a straight shooter with you, even if it's to my own harm, if that makes sense. Like also with body contouring, like we do not, it's very difficult to sell a full package up front. And this is just me being honest. We've tested it. I can show you some live accounts later if you want. I can share my screen. Um, and in the end, like the selling process is still, I guess, like, hey, we're getting them in for an introductory offer for the first session or treatment to get them kind of excited, show them some slight results, give them a free consultation, and essentially then present them with a treatment plan. The big key, though, which is what we've found really allows us to still do that and still sell packages, is like we go very heavy on qualification. So it's like before we even book somebody in, even if it's just for one session or treatment, we tell them like, hey, look, it's going to take multiple sessions to actually see proper results. Like, hey, we're going to show you what a package looks like. We're going to always set those expectations straight, which is essentially, I guess, kind of one of the reasons why our clients are still able to sell packages, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
you get them in for a single treatment, then they
correct,
get
like this is
excited and
this
get the package
exactly.
later.
So it's
Yeah.
not like that this doesn't work. And I don't want you to feel like we're tricking you in anything. I don't want you to be on this call and think like, oh, here we go again. Like that's the last thing I want. But I will also kind of show you the different options we've got kind of when we get to that part later down the line. And I ask right now with the body contouring device do you have?
I need to give you a little background. When I left Buffalo, it was over a divorce, and my ex got the DeMarco body sculpting business up there, and I had to when I left down here, I had to really brown bag it a little bit. So I got the devices directly from China, and they're like instead of M Sculpt Neo, they're M Shape Neo. But I'll tell you, I've done the M Sculpt, and these machines are beasts compared to that. But they don't have the in the
Yeah, I
States.
know.
So that could be a problem. I don't know
No, no,
how
no.
would
That just came in. We've got to be careful that we don't say M Sculpt Neo because the company, they're very strict and we don't want you
yeah.
to kind of get punished and get fined
So
because
you
of
just
that.
call it what it is mechanically, the high
Yeah,
fem with radio.
or for
Okay, beautiful.
exactly
Good.
something like that, or like EMS body sculpting. That's fine
Yes,
too. Like
yes,
as long
yes.
as it's Sculpt Neo, fine.
So you're okay
Um,
with that.
yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
The
Okay,
second
gotcha. So
thing I want to bring up, just let me before I forget.
sure.
So no Google reviews.
Mhm.
What do we do about that?
one thing we can do is we can do if you do you have like a list of clients with reviews and stuff
You mean from us?
from either up north if I mean if you I don't know
No,
how
no.
and are you can I ask man, and I don't want to get too personal here, but on good terms with your ex?
Oh no, there's a lot lawsuits. I can't touch any of my from up there.
Okay. So what I would suggest then is it may sound harsh, but it's probably what I would do if I were to restart my entire business. Um, just offer a free treatment for the first few people coming in with the condition that they will leave a Google review, will leave a video testimonial. That's kind of what I would do if I were you. And it doesn't have to be the EM sculpt or the EMS body sculpting as the free treatment. This could be literally anything. And I would probably even start if I were you, like asking in your close circle, like just ask people, hey guys, just starting up this new business, would love to kind of do this and this treatment with you. We can kind of I'll give you a free treatment for you if you're willing to leave a review, maybe refer a few people to us. And this is a
Come
great way to
come to think of it, I've got some people I can ask that I hadn't thought of. I can get
perfect.
probably 10 right off the bat.
Perfect. Exactly. Look,
Yeah.
that's not just 10 reviews. That's 10 people that are opportunities for referrals. So you can say, hey, look, I'll do a free treatment for you. And I'm assuming those are people
Well,
close
they're
in your
mostly out of
circle.
town. They're out of town.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be
Yes,
10 reviews.
but still, it would be 10 reviews. If you have people like in town, like offer them a free treatment in return for a review and for example.
How do you put that in? What do you call? I mean, you don't want to advertise that.
I mean, I wouldn't advertise it, no, never, definitely not. But you can like honestly, man, you're just starting out. This is just being super, super genuine. Like just go through your phone, go through your contacts in town, send them all a personal text and just call them up. Like just do it. You've got the
Yep.
time. It's
I got
exactly what you need to get started.
I got a lot of friends who would do that favor.
Exactly. So I mean
Okay.
that's the review thing, and look, man, I will be honest with you. Like we're not the magic hack, the golden nugget, the magic fairy that's gonna magically turn your business to a massive seven figures overnight. That's unrealistic and not true. Like to grow a business, there are a lot of different aspects, such as reputation, online reviews, social media advertising, but also the back end, making sure that when somebody comes in, we actually help them on a package or treatment plan. And we can help in all those kind of different aspects. But I will say, man, we're very different in terms of we're not just an ad agency sending you a bunch of names and emails. We really look at the whole business as its own, like again, reviews, referral systems, like the back packages and memberships, what they're an overall kind of how we can build a successful business scheme thing.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
like everything you're saying.
gotcha. So and I like that you have the M sculpt, body sculpting, whatever it is.
Yep. 300 a tree, whereas
Gotcha.
M
And
Sculpt is 1,000.
yeah, I'm expensive. And what's kind of the because again, to a certain degree, like I don't want to go too deep here. And we want to make sure we attract the right kind of patients, but also because you're just starting out, like part of me is thinking, man, you've just got to get patients in. See, like the only thing that matters right now. What's kind of the offer we could be running for this treatment? Because I, of course, like it would be an incentive to come in.
Pretty rock bottom. Uh, I mean, tomorrow, I could do 50% off.
Gotcha. So yeah, I think that would work. So we do like 149 or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
I
perfect,
like
man.
that.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, man, I'm pretty excited to be in touch and based on what you're sharing with me, I definitely think we can kind of help you here. I do want to say though, I mean, right now, the money, you haven't seen any patients. I know the sky's the limit, but I also do want to kind of stay realistic here. So, what would you say is kind of the goal, or where do you really?
Oh, I could tell you what, when I left my wife, she was doing 1 million a year.
Oh, okay. So you've
It's
got
the
the
same
background.
same practice. In fact, when I left, she hired a nurse practitioner to take my place. So I mean, we actually have more than she's got. She's doing $1 million a year in Buffalo, New York.
100%. So you want to kind of get it back up to a mil a year.
Yeah,
100%. And I
did it
mean,
before. I can do it again. And I was the person, doing the medical consults and stuff.
yeah, gotcha. No, I mean, and that sounds good. And to be honest, man, just out of curiosity, is you getting to a million, is that like where you can kind of start to enjoy life a bit more, drive a nice car, or is that kind of where you've got to be to keep overheads and everything all right?
I already have a nice car.
Okay, what are you
So,
driving? What are you driving, David? I want to know.
well, I got a Mercedes
Oh, nice.
SUV. That's,
Oh, wow.
I don't need a big, Lamborghini.
Nice. Cool. I like the vision. I like the vision. And can I
Yeah,
ask, I know you've already worked with a couple of agencies, tried Facebook ads, and didn't really work for you. Whereas like you were doing a completely different system, kind of ran the ad last time. I guess though, from you or from your perspective though, in terms of you looking for a partner and company to help you scale, what are some of the ideal criteria you're looking for to help you scale up?
well, number one, you some ads,
Hmm. Is
and
that
you
it?
and you're going to do the follow up. So create the
Gotcha.
ad.
Yeah,
I can do the
100%.
rest. I've done it
100,
before.
100%. And then, I mean, because you're also working with this current agency right now, as far as the timeline goes, once you find the right company and partner to help you scale up, sends, checks your boxes, and of course makes how to get the ball rolling.
Right away.
Perfect, man. I'm
I don't
excited to
have
do.
it. I'm month by month with them. I mean, uh, and
Okay.
now, so I guess I probably even want like a transition period where you're both at the same time
Yeah.
working. Is that have you had done that before? Have you clashed with anyone?
I mean, 1,000 agencies, but to be honest, David, I think we never lost. So I mean, but again, I'll leave the judgment up to you. So, and I think that's also like a wise decision to do from your perspective, because yeah, I get it. Like you want to have those different comparisons due to the same thing if I were in your shoes. Um, for
How
us, it
do you
doesn't really make.
share the CRM though? You kind of
I,
share the CRM, right?
I'll run you through everything in just a bit, because based on the things you shared with me, I definitely think there's a lot of room here for us to kind of work with each other and help you out. So just for kind of a quick recap to make sure I've got everything noted down here correctly, because everything we do is very custom. Right now, you're not really seeing enough patients. You've tried Facebook ads before. The problem though is more of, hey, you're focusing on kind of the wrong, to me, what it seems like the wrong treatment. You would have way more opportunity with the body sculpting, but it's mostly about having the right process and system in place to convert those leads and numbers and emails into actual paying patients that come back, leave reviews, leave referrals, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of the main thing that's really stopping you from starting properly. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, that
Gotcha.
sums it up. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I mean, look, then we'll kind of jump into the process here. I'm very excited to be in touch with you. I'm more of a visual guy, so I've got like a few slides here I can kind of share here on my screen to walk you through things and what that kind of would look like
Is there
inside
anything you
your
can
clinic.
send me when we're done? Is there anything you can send me so I don't have to concentrate on making notes?
Of course, man. I mean, if from my perspective, typically, and I'm not gonna like rush you in a decision or anything, but if everything makes sense, like end of the presentation, we can kind of have a look at those next few steps of what that would look like for you to become a client, and if everything again checks or boxes, we can make the note, we can kind of rolling today if that makes sense, and that
Oh
works for
yeah,
you.
it does.
Perfect. Then let me kind of my screen. Can you see that?
Servidia.
Exactly, that's the company name. So everything, let me preface this by saying that everything we do is extremely custom to every clinic we bring on. And I feel like this is a very big differentiator from us too, because look, we just New York, for example, we do have a lot of clients there. And I will say that what works in New York, it's not the same as what works in Florida. Like it's just a
Yeah, sure.
different market. And a lot of agencies out there try to just exact same thing, take the exact same ad, and that's kind of why it doesn't work. So what we do is very, very simple, but generally said, there are three main things we want to focus on. And we list the aesthetic authority system, which is number one, authority funnels, whereas we create custom UGC video ads and an authority funnel that positions you as the authority. And I'll break that down in the second step a bit more in detail. The main thing there is there are so many med spas and clinics out there. We want to make sure we position you as the expert and the go-to clinic area so that, and with authority rather than just the biggest discount, if that makes sense. I'm not saying we're not going to use an incentive to get new patients in. I like to say even the rich incentive or a discount or a good deal. But in the end, we want our main priority in the ad, what you'll also see, like they're very different, a lot of things out there, is we want you to stand out. Because if you're just going under as a commodity, and actually come to you, if that makes sense. That's step one. Step number two is our patient concierge team, which is our team calling all the new leads within 2 to 5 minutes, following up with them, qualifying them, and making sure we book them in for prepaid appointments with you. And then as a step number three, we go more and further than that, whereas we essentially pre-sell the right expectations and make sure patients come in, they're in the buying position, meaning they're ready and willing to essentially be pitched a treatment plan or package. And we also have a lot of back coaching, training, and support, whereas we want to just make sure we help you close consistently so that out of every 10 or 20 patients we bring in, percent of them or more even close on package or plans. Does that make sense so far?
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha. So step number one, authority funnels, is essentially, again, we want to make sure we stand out crowd with authority-driven custom video ads and not just, I guess to say it, but static image ads, a big discount. That doesn't work anymore. And I'm sure you see it all the time. It just doesn't work. Actually, here, this is a client from Claremont in Florida. You can see the way they're doing around 1K a month, I think. But you can see they do things very differently. It's like, I'll play for a few seconds. It's not too special, but it's way more educational, authority, athlete.
Got it.
So you can see it's not too special, but it has a totally different vibe. And I will also, and I'm just pulling that up.
Is that an AI person?
No, that's a real person. But what we and that's pretty cool, man. I like that you mentioned that previously. Like we have not a team in house, we've got an entire media team in house too. Meaning we have pretty girls essentially that can record those videos for you. That notch, and you don't have to worry about anything, if that makes sense.
Fantastic.
But yeah, let me quickly pull those up. And this is for a client we just launched, I think 2 weeks ago, and we already had like 20 patients for them. But let me quickly add so that you can see. So you can see here we do like the typical one, but we combine what is it? Red therapy with it's called True Flex or True, and you can see the ads, and that's kind of like, again, we have those kind of custom UGC videos, like user generated content that are super engaging, and that just drives so much attention. And I'll just play that for you. So you can see that's one, that's another one. Where is that not playing? Maybe because of that.
Well, I don't have red light therapy, but
yeah, you don't.
I see your point here.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just trying to get the point across of the videos. We want to be really engaging, and we get all that video content for you. You don't have to worry about the videos. You don't have to worry about anything. Like we're just gonna take care of it, like A to Z. You could say, I shouldn't say this, but the girls we have on the team, or they are good in front of camera. They get a lot of attention, able to create really high converting ads, if that makes sense.
Beautiful.
But yeah, that's essentially step number one. I don't know, in terms of the ads you're currently running, can you is that something that you feel like could lead to an improvement, or is that essentially the same you're currently doing?
Well, they've made tremendous strides from that guy who was so depressing talking about his testosterone to the last one is really really much better, upbeat, with a nice looking guy, and so they've made some improvement with that.
Mhm.
You would
And
probably even approve of their ad. It was pretty good.
yeah, no, I believe you. And I just saw this here in the back end. We also have like an M-Sculpt Neo ad, which I want to show you. And again, like the whole point here is we create those videos very custom, and they're just different than those image ads with a big discount slapped on them. They're way more engaging, and that's why they work so well.
Yeah, yeah. I had that machine for a long time. I mean,
You can
that's
see like
pretty
it's a
close
pretty
to what I got, so you could even run something like that.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like again, this is just the kind of demonstration of those videos are super important. We go very heavy on videos and content. And the cool thing is we take all the efforts off like from your shoulders. You don't have to do anything. We'll do it. We'll script it out. We'll shoot it. We'll run it. We'll launch it.
Yeah,
Sounds good?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Perfect. The second
That's
step
what
we
I
do
need.
is Perfect. The second thing that we do a bit differently, we're not just going to run broad ads in a radius around your clinic. What we do differently is we zoom out essentially, and we look at the highest income areas around you. So we're not just going to target in a big radius. Instead, we focus specifically on targeting zip code areas with a higher income of anywhere between 70 to 150,000 a year. So that when we get in front of those patients, we have a way higher likelihood of them actually being financially qualified, and we can kind of filter out those super cheap like Groupon clients. And the biggest thing here is we still qualify 30 in a second step, but the biggest thing here is we just want to make sure like I'm sorry to say this, but the very low income population is not getting in front of those ads, because otherwise we're just wasting that ad spend in front of them, because even if they get that first treatment, they could not afford a package, and that's kind of what we want to focus on.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? So we essentially kind of target
Yeah,
those higher income areas. We install that proprietary targeting pixel, which has all like the previously collected data from all our clients, essentially patients' demographics, so that we
yeah,
can essentially go to Facebook. We can, hey, look, that's our ideal dream patient, thousands with clinics. Please target a similar demographic, and they're going to do that. Make sense?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Do you know this Panama City area at all?
To be honest, I don't, but we can pull it up now.
There's a Panama City where I'm at, Panama City Beach. Money is at, and it's separated bridge. So 324.
Because my Justice Map tool is not always
There you
working.
go. You had it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull it up here. Um, should be somewhere here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is it? Panama City Beach here.
Well, we're in Panama City, and the beach is across the bridge.
So you
You're
guys
getting there.
are,
You're getting there.
is it there?
A little bit. Can you see
I,
my
I,
mouse?
I know I cannot. I can just see here, Panama City Beach. Are you up
Yeah.
or north, or where exactly are
Towards the
you?
east, over that little
Oh
body of
yeah,
water. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
bridge they
okay.
have to go across. But
Oh yeah, I see.
it's 5 minutes, but still, a lot of
Yeah.
people consider it a big boundary.
Yeah, man, and that's exactly essentially what we do. Whereas like we just want to make sure, because if you get in front of those dark red areas, like those are people that do anywhere between 0 and 30,000 a month
Oh, yeah,
income.
yeah,
So it's like if we're gonna get your ads there, no offense, but they will probably not be able to afford a package, if that
yeah.
makes
You need
sense.
the other places.
Exactly. And this is just like an extra step we do to dial things in a bit more and make sure we can get you in front of actually financially qualified patients. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah. That's what we
Perfect.
need.
Cool. Then in the second step, and I would say like this is probably where 80% of our work is actually done, is we call every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes after they sign up. We go super heavy on qualification. We filter out all the cheap clients, time wasters, and discount hunters. And to a certain degree, we already pre-sell them, and we do like what we call mini virtual phone consults with the patients on the phone, just because our team like has med spa sales experience. Yeah, to a certain degree, we're able to really have a small consultation with them on the phone and be that authority figure for them. And then essentially we can kind of take that part off your shoulders, so that when they actually come in, again, they're excited for the treatment. They've got the right expectations and making it easy for you to kind of upsell them. And then on
And
the third part of
they,
it,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
they do the actual scheduling to my calendar. Is that it?
Yes, so we'll set that up together, but essentially our team is gonna book the appointments prepaid with the deposit straight into your calendar, whilst you can literally sit back, sip a margarita at the beach if you want to. We'll fill your schedule for you.
All right.
Does that check some of your boxes?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Cool. That's that. And just to kind of show you also a bit more detail what this, again, I like to say those are more mini virtual phone consults, and we have like all the FAQs to the treatment. And even if patients ask like, okay, where are you located? Like, we're not just giving them the address, we're telling them like landmarks, like, oh, we're right across there, so that it
Uh-huh.
really seems super genuine and not just like a road. And we
Good.
ask those qualification questions like, oh, is it just like loose skin, or do you want to do this? Like, it depends, of course, of the treatment, but we really want to make sure identify and diagnose their main struggles and constraints. We get them to emotionally open up about them, and then we'll give you all that information to make your job at closing those packages even easier. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. And that's essentially the best transition into step number 3, or pillar number 3, which is the number one skill that we see differentiates 6 from 7-figure clinics is really just their ability to close consistently. And what I say as their ability to sell and consult in a way that the patient won't look anywhere else for. So in this third step, we go very heavy on, and I will quickly show you on like different trainings. And I think this is going to be, normally it's just a bonus, but I think in your situation, it will massively help you. Whereas you can see here, those are all coaching videos we give, giving you the exact roadmap we've used previously to scale multiple clinics to 7 figures, how to update the CRM for, how to create offers, how to structure the clinic on a fundamental basis, how to create packages, how to price packages. But most importantly, like the whole sales mastery thing on like, again, I'm not saying you cannot sell. This is just the framework we want to give you as support in case the numbers aren't as expected. Essentially what our 7-figure clinic partners are doing and just to kind of copy and paste the same thing into you. So here we have a lot of videos on sales. We have some social media stuff, just optional, but we also go through things like reviews and referrals and how we can kind of scale into the long term, looking at the data. I think that's a perfect demonstration that we're not just like some ads. It's really more like a growth partner where we look at the whole business as its own and want to help you grow it simply.
Very.
And what we do there too, which I don't think most agencies don't track this, is we're gonna give you essentially like a spreadsheet like this one. We're gonna add all those appointments there, and then you can kind of update us on the outcomes, whether they showed, for how much they closed, all that kind of stuff, so that at the end of the day, you can see exactly how much money we've made you. And this is just a bonus, but we go very heavy on numbers so that you know like how much, again, money we made you.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, that's essentially it. I'm not going to go too deep into case studies. I'm sure you saw some of, did you check
Yeah.
out the link too?
Yeah, I didn't watch all the testimonies, I'm sure.
Perfect, cool. But yeah, this is one of them, Diana College and Bar, 4 clinics in New York. We helped them get 64 new prepaid patients in just 2 months. That's kind of a standard case study. We've got a few of them. And yeah, man, I think especially you saying that you guys do body contouring and you've got the M Sculpt or a Simize.
Yep.
I'm very excited. But
And
I
we
don't
have
want to
the
bore you
True
with,
Sculpt
I
too,
don't,
a cinema similar to
oh,
True Sculpt.
perfect.
Yeah. Oh
Perfect.
yeah.
And again, I don't want to bore you with case studies, but essentially to kind of sum things up, man, before we get into numbers and what that could look at, we're more like a growth partner. I don't want to waste your time by putting all the work onto you. We want to do the whole for you. That's when we can maximize efficiency, returns, and profits in your pocket. We're not going to share the leads with you. So it's not that the leads we're generating, we're going to share them with other clinics. You're going to be the person accessing those essentially. And with all options, when we have multiple different options, with all of them, we have risk reversal. So we essentially take the risk onto us or share that with you so that you know, like, again, we're more like a growth partner. We're going hand with you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Then before we jump into the numbers, that's kind of the next part. I know you're probably all I just like to do a small time check based on the process and everything I've shown you so far on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being Callum, I don't like your hair, you're ugly, this does not gonna work. And 10 being this is what I've been looking for, let's move on. Be as specific as you can, price aside, and you can be brutally honest. Scale.
9.5.
Perfect, man. I don't think there is any room here for us to grow. In my world, there is no 10 out of 10, so I'm glad we're there. So it sounds like, hey, if we can get the numbers to work, like that's something you're started with.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in terms of the two different options, and I will give you a fair warning, man, it might be a bit scary for you. Those numbers are not cheap, but I want you to know that I really like you. We've been having a good conversation. So all I ask is please don't hate me. And I will also say, man, I don't usually do this, but I think since you're just starting out, it will also make sense. I'm also happy to help you out a bit, make things
Okay.
easier.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so into ads, kind of the first layer. So as you know, this goes directly to those ad platforms, whereas most of our clients start with $100 a day. We just have 50 to get started. Does that work?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Start with 50, and
Perfect.
to be honest with
Exactly.
you, I'm going to cut the other one back to 50 from 100, so
Yeah.
the spend will be the same.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's kind of the ad spend. Now, next to the ad spend, we have different options. One option is our pay per patient program, which is $300 per new patient. With that, there is a one-time operational expense of $1,500. Now, full transparency, most of our clients are seeing, again, 30 patients a month with body contouring. So this option does get pretty expensive, which is why we do also have a second option, which is usually 7,000 one time, just 3 full months. With that option, whether you make 20, 30, 40, or 50,000, you get to all the profits. And with that option, because I know that's probably quite a lot for you, I'm also willing to kind of help you out and see things work.
I want to go with the 7, but can you do it in installment?
Yeah,
Third or something?
I mean, look, normally I don't do this, but as I said, man, I'm willing to kind of help you out here. If I'm willing to do that for you, though, I will ask for a small favor. If after 90 days, of course, you've been happy and all that kind of stuff, will you be willing to, if I'm willing to break this down for you, will you be willing to leave us a testimonial and a video review or something like that?
Oh, that's it. Of course.
Perfect. If that's the case, I'm more than happy to sort of, yeah, installment and kind of break things up for you.
Thank you.
What I can do is typically we can split it up into 2 payments. So it's 35 and then 35, 40 days later down the line. Do you think that would work?
3. How
So
about let me say 3, 2, and 2? Can you do 3, 2, and 2?
So you mean 3 today, 2 in a month, 2 in a month?
Right.
Yeah, I think
Does that
I
sound
might be able.
reasonable?
It does, but as I said, only condition is you'll leave us a review when you're happy. Sounds good?
I'm sure I'm going to be happy.
Perfect, man. David, I'm excited to crush it with you. Then let me quickly create some custom plan for you because again, we don't really do this here. But in the meantime, whilst I'm doing that, open up that link. I'll just send you here in the Zoom chat. Open up that link and start filling out that form, which essentially is just kind of us getting started on the onboarding.
Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm doing the onboarding form as we speak.
Perfect. And in the onboarding form, you can see in the very top, you have like this link to book a onboarding call. So do that very first thing, book an onboarding call for in 1 or 2 days from now, and then fill out the form step by step. And in the meantime, I'm getting the paperwork ready here in the background.
Okay. Let's see. I'm doing 10:30 on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's Central Time, right?
You can configure your time yourself, like below the dates,
But
you
oh,
see
it
like the
does.
time zone.
Oh, it's Eastern. Shoot.
You can change it.
America. So would be usually America, Chicago is Central. Do you have that? Do you know?
Yeah, just put in CST.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm
Cool.
able to choose Thursday. Oh, wait. I'm on Thursday at 9:30. Okay. It took it.
Perfect.
Okay. That's done. I'm on the onboarding form now.
Perfect. Well, then let me get the other stuff ready for you in the meantime.
Oh, it won't do an autofill?
Not sure, maybe won't. Perfect. So what I've got with the invoice, just to give you some context, we'll take 3,000 to get things started, and then it's on a monthly basis, it's 2,000. Normally, after after 3 months, it continues with the same pricing of around 2,500 because most a month, because most clinics start to scale. I'm happy to say though, look, because I really want to help you out here, we can just kind of keep it to the 2,000 on a monthly basis after the first investment. And of course, you can
Okay.
still cancel that. Does that work for you?
It's on a monthly renewal.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Cool. And by the way, look, it really never happens, but in case you like still after 3 months decide, hey, Callum, I hate you, I don't want to work with you and don't see you ever again. I prefer to drive my Mercedes. Then we can still kind of change things up and I can cancel it, no worries. Sounds good?
Okay. Yeah. So you need my date of birth, huh?
Yeah, man. I want to know. I thank you for your trust. I'm super excited to get things going and set up with you. We'll get started with the onboarding, or we can get started on the onboarding as soon as you filled out the form. So do this as soon as possible. Then we'll get everything set up. We'll meet on the onboarding call, which you said
Yeah.
you booked, right?
10:30 or 9:30 Thursday morning.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Then we'll get everything set up. On Thursday, we'll be able to do some technicalities and that kind of stuff. And in terms of the timeline, it does take around 7 days to get everything set up and running. Our goal is to get everything up even faster than that. So we're hopefully going to launch everything around next weekend, but we'll see. Sounds good?
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks. It was nice.
It
All
was.
right.
Talk to you soon again. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.